Good morning, folks. This is Troy D. Rosario with some spine chilling true ghost stories. Fasten your belts because now you are going to experience really bad weather. Today's story is about Shirley. Shirley. For centuries, people have been debating on the topic whether ghosts exist or not. Still, we have no conclusive answers. But we cannot deny the fact that there are positive as well as negative forces around us. Shirley was a typical city girl who worked for a theatrical group. Theatre was her life, a simple getaway from real life into one full of imagination and fairy tales. Life had not been smooth for her. At a very young age, she lost both her parents in a car accident. She grew up in an orphanage and completed her graduation. From a very young age, she had a fascination for reading. She read all sorts of books, from romance to tragedy. While reading, she slipped into those characters, and that's how her journey towards theatre began. She now lived as a PG with Mrs. Gonzalez in Creek Row, Kolkata. Life was going on quite well when suddenly an incident took place which changed her entire life. It was a cold wintry night in the month of December 2016. Shirley had just finished her performance in the theatre and was returning home. It was 11 p.m. and getting transport at that hour was quite difficult. Shirley waited patiently at the bus stop for over an hour. Then suddenly a police jeep stopped at the bus stop. Out came a handsome young inspector, David, who dropped Shirley home. David's visits became frequent and subsequently both fell in love with each other. Time flew and it was now 2 years that they were seeing each other. David approached his parents for marriage, but they disagreed as they felt Shirley would not fit well into the family because of her theatrical background. A decision had to be taken, and so they got married against his parents' wish and decided to live separately. Though David and Shirley had a decent income, it was not enough to own a house. But luck was on their side. Peter, David's subordinate, had a vacant room at the side of the Belghoria railway station. This room had been vacant for the past 7 years. It was on the third floor of the building. Happily, the married couple accepted the offer and shifted in. This building was weird and had an eerie feeling. Opening the window of the flat, you could see the railway tracks very clearly, and when a train passed by, one could feel the tremor on the floor. Every night, a strange thing happened. One could feel that someone was walking in the room, and a dirty smell would come from the kitchen. This would take place exactly at 3 a.m. in the morning and would end at 3:30 a.m. Both David and Shirley witnessed this act. After a week, something stranger happened. On Monday, Shirley decided to stay at home as she was not well. Exactly at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, when she was fast asleep, a loud sound woke her up. Startled with this sudden sound, she jumped up to discover that an ugly, huge man was literally dashing a young girl on the floor just in front of her. She screamed and fell unconscious. When she woke up, she found herself on her bed with David by her side. What happened, Shirley? Why were you lying on the floor? Shirley was a nervous wreck, and she clinged on to David and cried bitterly. There is something in this house. We need to move out immediately, she cried. getting a new place immediately was not that easy as finances were tight. The newly wedded couple were awake the entire night. Things turned uglier, and now it was not only the smell and someone walking, but also shrieks and cries of children that filled the entire room. The next day, without any delay, they left the room and headed for a hotel. David was all worried and was sitting quietly at a police station. Sham, the constable, noticed this. He approached his master and heard it all. He then assured him that he would help him to get a place to stay within a few days. Very true. They got a place in Birati, a two-room flat with a self-contained bathroom. It was a Tuesday when they shifted in. At the stroke of midnight, Shirley could distinctly hear the toilet being flushed. Turning around, she found David fast asleep. Who could it be? With trembling feet, she headed towards the bathroom and opened the door. Sitting on the commode was that same ugly figure she had seen in the old house. Goodbye. Till next Friday. Shh! Someone's there.